Good morning, all of you. So, today we are going to discuss about the chapter 3, Retaliation and Struggle of British Empire. So, this is one of the topic in 10th class, 3rd chapter. Okay. Here, retaliation. Retaliation means counter attack. Counter attack by Indians. Okay, now the counter attack against whom? Against the Britishers. Okay, and struggle of British Empire. Britishers came to India and they settled here and they started to rule Indians. Okay, now but our Indians fought against the Britishers to get the freedom. So for that purpose, we have done so many battles, revolts. Okay, because of those battles and revolts, the British Empire struggled a lot. Okay, this is the meaning of the lesson. Counter attack given by the Indians against the Britishers, and the Britishers struggled a lot. Okay, now in this chapter we will discuss about especially which wars happened initially. Okay, na? Initially which wars happened between Indian kings and the Britishers. See here. Here one company, the Governor and Company of Merchants of London. In London, see here. This is Europe. In this Europe, one of the country, UK, United Kingdom, or England. Okay, its capital is London. See the location. In this London, some merchants were present. Merchants means the business persons, traders. Okay, and all those merchants started one company. That company name is the Governor and Company of Merchants of London. Okay. And this company is also known as East India Company. Okay, East India Company. Some of the merchants started this company. So, on which date? That means in the year 1600 AD. In the year 1600, on 23rd September. Okay, on 23rd September 1600. Some of the merchants of London have started one company. That company name is the Governor and Company of Merchants of London. It was also known as East India Company. Okay, you can see the picture, that company, East India Company picture this is. Okay, where it is present? In London. Next. So after the establishment of this company, what happened? What the merchants did? See here. That East India Company, this is a symbol. Okay, symbol of East India Company. This East India Company acquired one charter. That means they got one charter from the British Queen, Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I was the first Queen of Britain. Okay, from her, this East India Company got one charter. Okay, this is a charter. What is the meaning of charter? See here, official document which gives full rights. Charter means this is an official document which will give full rights to the East India Company to do trade in India. Okay, na? The East India Company got one charter from Queen Elizabeth I. The charter indicates an official document which will give full rights to the company to do the trade in India. Okay, now by taking this charter, the traders started from England. Okay, and this traders started from England on ships. And finally they reached to India. Okay, the traders reached to India. So this is one of the seaport. From this figure you can understand the Britishers reached to India. Okay, now in which year they reached to India? That is in 1608. East India Company, EIC means East India Company, came to India. Okay, in the year 1608. When the Britishers acquired, the East India Company acquired the charter in the 1600 AD, okay, 31st December. But when they came, after 8 years, they arrived to India. Next, after the arrival, they have started their trading hub. Trading hub means trading center, one of the place which is useful for their imports and exports. Okay, that is called as trading hub. Hub means center. So the first permanent trading hub, this is. Okay, this is the first permanent trading center of East India Company, and it is located in Surat. Okay, this one. And after this trading hub, they have fortified so many areas. Fortified means they built some forts for their trading purpose. Okay, na? For their trading purpose, they have built some forts. This fort is Saint George Fort. Okay, so this is one of the fort, Saint George Fort, which is present in Madras. Okay, in Madras also they have built one fort. That fort name is Saint George Fort. Okay, all these forts, buildings, trading centers, why this built? Just for the trading purpose. Okay. Next, see here. After establishment of so many forts, trading centers, they came to one of the Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah. Okay, see here. Here he is the Farrukh Shah, and he is one of the East India Company trader. Okay, this East India Company trader came to this Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah. Okay, Farrukh Shah, and here East India Company acquired Farman. Farman means, see here you can find one letter. East India Company traders, they got one Farman from Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah. Let us see what is the meaning of that Farman. See here. Want to see the picture? East India Company, Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah, Farman. Okay, that letter. This is a Farman. Farman means grant or permission letter. Farman means what? A grant or permission letter to do the trade in India. This permission was given by the Mughal Emperor. Why? Because at that time, who was ruling India? Mughal Emperors. That's why the Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah given one permission letter to the East India Company traders to do their trade in India. So this Farman contains, okay now, this permission letter contains some things. See here, ownership on land of 38 villages. Ownership on land of 38 villages. In this Mughal Empire, some villages are present. Okay na? Among those villages, 38 villages were given to the East India Company. Okay na? The land rights were given to the East India Company. And according to this permission letter, no toll tax for East India Company. For example, East India Company want to import or export their goods, they have to pay some tax to the Indian government. That means for Mughal emperors. But according to this Farman, he cancelled the toll tax also. Okay, now who cancelled? Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar cancelled the toll tax for the Britishers. Okay, so why he given this grant? Why the Farrukhsiyar given the grant to the East India Company traders? Because here the East India Company had offered some money, 3,000 rupees money and insufficient goods. That means East India Company accepted that we will provide you the goods which are insufficient in your country. Okay, na? So, like these things were provided for the Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar. In return, they got this firman. Okay, by getting this firman, they had started the ownership on lands. Okay, now that means from that land, whatever they are getting, they will take. And next, see here. Now the situation. Year is 1756. Okay, in this 1756, Sirajud-Dawla, he is one of the person. He became the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, in the year 1756 AD, Sirajud-Dawla became the Nawab of Bengal. Bengal means in the West Bengal, you know, that Bengal. Okay, he is the Sirajud-Dawla. Okay, but at the same time, so in the Bengal province, one more place, that is Purnia. Okay, now Purnia. So this place was ruled by Shaukat Jan. He is the governor of that place. Okay, and this is present in Bihar, present day Bihar. Okay, and in the 1756, Sirajud-Dawla became the Nawab. So, but at the same time, this Shaukat Jan wanted to become the Nawab of this Bengal. Okay, Shaukat Jan, he also wished or wanted to become the Nawab of the Bengal. That means the rivalry between these two persons increases. See here, Sirajud-Dawla one side and Shaukat Jan one side. The rivalry is increasing. Okay, na? Rivalry, disputes increasing. So, Britishers took this situation as an advantage. Here, in both the parties, that means between Sirajud-Dawla and Shaukat Jan, rivalry is increasing. So, Britishers took this situation as an advantage and they increased those disputes. Okay, now the East India Company traders increased those disputes. See here, East India Company is increasing the disputes between Sirajud-Dawla and Shaukat Jan. That's why Sirajud-Dawla became against the East India Company. Sirajud-Dawla became against the East India Company. He is not supporting East India Company. He is not obeying the orders of East India Company. That's why the war started between Sirajud-Dawla and East India Company. Okay, war started. Now let's see what is that war. See here, Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey. Plassey means this is one of the place which is present in Bengal. Okay, na? In Bengal, one of the place, Plassey. In this place, one battle began in between Nawab Sirajud-Dawla versus Robert Clive. Robert Clive means he is one of the army commander of East India Company. Okay, he is one of the army commander of East India Company. So between East India Company and Sirajud-Dawla, war began. That battle name is known as Battle of Plassey. Okay, in which year it is started and on both the sides who are present, let's see. So the Battle of Plassey, it was started on 23rd June. Okay, on 23rd June in the year 1757. The battle began. And in this battle, see the battlefield. Okay, this is the battlefield. In this battlefield, both the parties are fighting with each other. So, on behalf of East India Company, that army led by Robert Clive. Okay. So, who is leading the army of East India Company here? Robert Clive. And on the other side, Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay, now. And his army is led by Nawab. Nawab means himself. And one more person, Mir Jafar Ali Khan. Mir Jafar Ali Khan. Okay. And to this Siraj-ud-Dawla, French army also supported. French army also supported to the Siraj-ud-Dawla. Why? Because French company, French East India Company and British East India Company, both are enemies. That's why the French army supported Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay. In this war, what happened? See here, you can see one picture regarding corruption. Okay. He is offering money, he is taking money. Here, Robert Clive offered bribe. Bribe means money. Okay, now to Mir Jafar Khan, Mir Jafar Ali Khan. Okay, now and some others. So why? Because here the army of Siraj-ud-Dawla and French army is in more number when we compare with that East India Company army. That means the company army, East India Company army is very less and Siraj-ud-Dawla army is very huge. That's why the East India Company, especially the Robert Clive, he understood that it is not easy to win on Siraj-ud-Dawla. So we have to do something. That's why he given some bribe to the Mir Jafar Ali Khan and some more members. That's why the Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated by the East India Company. See here, East India Company is attacking from one side and from another side Siraj-ud-Dawla army attacking. And in this battle, winner was East India Company. Okay, now Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated, loser. Okay, why Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated? Because in his army some of the members were corrupted. Because of those corrupted persons, Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated by the East India Company. Okay, this is about Battle of Plassey. Okay, 1757 year. Between whom? Robert Clive and Siraj-ud-Dawla. And here Robert Clive given bribe to whom? Mir Jafar Ali Khan and some more members. Because of that reason, even though by having more number of army, Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated by East India Company. Next, after the Battle of Plassey, what happened? Now the Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated. Okay, now the throne was empty. So that's why here the Britishers, that means especially Robert Clive, appointed Mir Jafar as Nawab of Bengal. Okay, now so Robert Clive given bribe to Mir Jafar Ali Khan and he offered something also. That something is the throne of Bengal. Okay, now the post of Nawab of Bengal. That's why Mir Jafar Ali Khan supported East India Company. So according to that agreement, the Britishers appointed Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, now who is the Nawab of Bengal? Mir Jafar Ali Khan. But what happened? See here. But he was failed to fulfill financial demands of British. Okay, that means the Britishers asked for so much money, penalties, okay, and land grants, everything. But this Mir Jafar was failed to fulfill the demands of those Britishers. That's why the Britishers were angry at Mir Jafar. Okay, now the Britishers angry at Mir Jafar. So because of this reason, the Britishers removed Mir Jafar from the post of Nawab of Bengal. Okay? See here. So Britishers appointed Mir Qasim as the Nawab. That means the Britishers removed Mir Jafar from the Nawab post and they reappointed Mir Qasim as the Nawab. Okay? So he is a Mir Qasim. The Britishers appointed him as a Nawab. Okay? And then what happened? Mir Qasim tried to bring some reforms in the Bengal. That means he wanted to rule according to the wish of the people. He don't want to follow the rules which were set up by the Britishers. And he don't want to fulfill the demands of the Britishers. That's why the Britishers again became enemy to the Mir Qasim. The Britishers didn't like the behavior of Mir Qasim. Okay? Because of this reason, again, what happened? Let's see now. Disputes regarding financial matters increased. Okay, now disputes increased regarding financial matters. In between whom? East India Company and Mir Qasim. Okay? That's why a war started between the two persons. Let's see, what is that war? That war is Battle of Buxar. Battle of Buxar. That Buxar is one of the place present in Bihar. Okay? Present in Bihar. So in the year 1764, 22nd October, this battle was took place. Okay? 1764, 22nd October. See that battle. This is a picture which represents the Battle of Buxar. Okay? In this battle of Buxar, two groups were participated. In one group, Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla. Shuja-ud-Dawla, he was the Nawab of Awadh. Okay? Next, Shah Alam II, he was the Mughal emperor. And Mir Qasim was the Nawab of Bengal. Okay? These three members in one group. And the opposite group, the rival group is East India Company. And the East India Company was led by the Army General Hector Munro. Okay? Hector Munro was the Chief Army General or Commander who led the East India Company Army. And in this war, Hector Munro got victory. See here, even though there are so many kings participated in one group, the strength of the army is more. Okay? The strength of the army is more. Even though they were defeated by Hector Munro. Why? Because lack of unity among these persons. The first main reason is lack of unity. Next, lack of understanding. Okay? Because of this reason, Hector Munro defeated all these persons. Okay? In the Battle of Buxar. Okay? After winning in this war, the East India Company started its administration. That means ruling also. Until 1764, just the company did trade, okay, the business, and the company, East India Company, involved in some of the administration matters of local kings. But after winning in this Battle of Buxar, completely they established their empire in our India. Okay? Okay. And the remaining things let us discuss in the next class. Thank you.